Hello and welcome to SharePoint Basics. Congratulations on your new role as a content author for your site. I'm going to walk you through the basics of SharePoint, updating your site, and I'll be splitting up these basics videos because there's a lot of content to cover, and you might want to review like different segments of the basics course without having to like fast forward through stuff that you might already know. So let's get started. So where should you begin? The first steps when you are working on your site are always going to be that you have to sign in. So that is where you're going to start. So the first step is to navigate to your school site. You're going to scroll to the bottom of the page. You're going to click sign in, and that's going to be a link. And that link will give you a pop-up screen, which is exactly like what is the image on the right side. And you'll put in your JUSD email username and password. So in my example, I put my username and then the password, and then you click on log in. And then once you log in, your screen will change. The top of your screen will have a ribbon that says SharePoint. So let's walk through that together. So I'm going to scroll to the bottom of the page and click on sign in. And then I click on log in. And see how my screen changed, and I have a ribbon at the top of the page, and here's my name, and then I'll have like a settings cog. So that's how I know that I'm signed in. Okay, so once you're signed in, the next thing you're going to do is go to Site Contents. And Site Contents is a section of your website where all of the content for your site is housed. To get to Site Contents, you make sure that you're on the top of the page, and then you're going to click on the gear icon that appears next to your name. It looks just like this. And a drop-down menu will appear, and then you're going to click on Site Contents. So you're at the top of your page. Here's the gear. Scroll down, you click on Site Contents. And then it will look like this. So as you can see, here's what your screen should look like. And it did. See, here's what it looks like. So here's announcements, directory, documents, event calendar. These are all the things that you'll be using to update your site. The documents and images are where, of course, your documents and images go. So your documents can be like PDFs, or they can be Word documents or Excel documents, things like of that nature. And images are any images that you want to put on your site that are not going to go in your school gallery. So let's open up a new tab and scroll to the bottom. This is your school gallery, and this school gallery is controlled from school gallery right here. So this is, again, your site contents page. The way we got here was settings, site contents, and then it opened up this page. So anytime you want to update anything on your front page, you have here's your announcement section, you have your upcoming events, you have your welcome to section, and this welcome to section has different tabs. So these are just test tabs that I did as I was teaching classes. And we will walk through later on how you update these different sections. But I just want you to get an idea of the different things that are on your front page. So here's latest news. So we also have social media, and then school gallery. So social media, you never have to worry about that. You update that on your actual social media sites, and then it aggregates here. And school gallery is directly connected to this school gallery folder here. So let's open it up. And you can see these are the same pictures that are on the front. So here's the same pictures. And they automatically post. So if you ever want to update the images that are on your front page, you just put them inside of here, and they will automatically update to your front page. So let's go back to our site contents. And then we're going to go back to our PowerPoint. So site content section of your website is where all the content for your site is housed. Site contents is where you update everything that appears on the front page of your website. So here's the front page of your website. And to update anything on this page, you're going to go to Site Contents. This is where you go to update. So the front page. How to update your front page's content, step by step. So documents and images. You're going to open the Documents app from Site Contents, drag and drop upload. So the file must be on your computer in order for you to drag it onto the SharePoint screen and for it to upload. So I'm going to give you an example. We're going to open up Documents, and I'm going to drag and drop. See how it says drop here? And I already have this in, I already have this inside this folder, so it's telling me that this name already exists. So do I want to replace it, or do I want to choose not to upload? If I replace it, then it will be the new one that's in here. And that's actually pretty useful if I've uploaded it, given someone a link. Here's where you find the link right here. Say I've emailed this link to someone. Let's go to it. Let's open a new page. Let's go to it. As you can see, here's what the district calendar looks like. Okay, so this is what it looks like, and I'm going to give someone this link so they can see this page. But then I'm like, oh no, I forgot to add something on the 9th or something. And so I need to update it. And so I've updated it, and then I add it again, and then all I do is just replace it. And that link doesn't change, even though the information has changed. So this is going to be a new document essentially, but it has the same name. So that person can still get to that document. You don't have to worry about updating that email link. Okay, so another way that you can upload a document, well, this is just explaining how you can get to that URL, which I showed you. And this URL is pretty useful, so keep that in mind. So, okay, so another way to upload a document is to click on New Documents. So you can add documents or images by clicking on the New Document or New Image button and following the on-screen wizard. So let's dismiss this, and then we're going to get our button back. So here's New Document. You can see it matches over here. So you're going to get a pop-up screen after you click on New Document, and then you just choose a file. Let's walk through this first. So New Document, choose a file. Let's choose what we were doing before. And there you go, it's uploaded. Okay, so image URLs are found the same way by hovering over an image until the ellipsis appears and then clicking on the ellipsis. So let's go to Site Contents. I'm going to open up Images. Then we're going to find the URL for the image. So here's the URL. So you have to hover over it, click on the 3 dots, and here's your image. Okay. So now that we have our documents and images in place, we can make them available to our users. So we can add them as hyperlinks if they are PDFs, or we can add them to pages directly if they're images. So let's add our items to different sections of our front page. We will work from the top to the bottom. So announcements, event calendar, welcome to, latest news, and school gallery. So announcements is the first section. As we go through creating an announcement, I will also explain how to do the following: add an image, format an image, add links, add a table, and format a table. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to Site Contents, and on our Site Contents page, we're going to click on the image from the Site Contents page. You click on the new announcements image, and then you're going to click on New Announcement. And then this, your page will change to this, and you're going to have your title, your body, and so forth. So let's walk through that. Site contents. Here's your announcements. You're going to click on New Announcement. And then see how your page changed to this. Okay, so what comes next? We're going to go through each part of the dialog box so that you understand each label and its prospective value. Most of the explanation will be spent on the body label, so number 2. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 different sections. So announcements, tips, tricks, and how to. So anything marked with an asterisk is a required field. So if you look over here, we have title is a required field, expires is a required field, brief description, and homepage image are all required fields. The title label is the first line that is seen on the front page's announcement section. So you can see that right here where it says title goes here. The body is what visitors will see when they click on the read more link from the page that we just saw. So see how it says read more right here? If they click on that, then they will see this page right here. And this is what's found on this page is inside of the body label. So the picture below is what my example will look like for site visitors. And this is what your screen will look like as you're editing. See how it says body? So the next few slides are the nitty-gritty of editing the body label of the new announcement. As previously mentioned, we will now go over how to add an image, format an image, add links, add a table, and format a table. So adding an image. To add an image to your announcement, click inside the body dialog box. The ribbon of the top of the screen should change to something like this. So here's format text and insert. And then you have all these different options here. And it's pretty similar to like a Word document. To add an image, we need to navigate to the Insert tab. Now your ribbon will look like this. And there are 3 options for inserting a picture. You can either do it from your computer, from an address, or from SharePoint. Let's walk through this on the actual site. So here's your title. We already went through that. So let's say title goes here. And then we are now inside the body. You can tell because there's an outline. So here's the body, and then your ribbon changed when we went to the body. So we're going to add an image, go to picture, and we're going to add one from SharePoint. So when we add from SharePoint, it can be a little bit confusing because you're not always in the right place. If you want to check your location, you can check where you're at right here. So if you can see right here, it says Camino Real. That's how I know that I'm in the right location. So it's schools, Camino Real. Sometimes I open this up and I'm all the way on top at the district level. So this would be like the district level. These are all the district pages. And the way that I would navigate to my schools, I would have to go to our schools. Then I would have to click on my school. And these are the options. So I'm like, oh no, now I have to find images. There it is. So now here are images for Camino Real, if that's the school that I was looking for. So let's add this. Click insert. And so now we have this image right here in our body. Let's go back to our PowerPoint. So that's how we uploaded something from SharePoint. If we wanted to use the address, we can use the URL. And I showed you how to find the URL. Let's go back. Go to our site contents. Open up images. And say I wanted to add this flower. Here's the URL. Copy. I can go back to my tab. I want to put it below, so I'm going to insert picture from address. And I'm going to paste that address in there. And there's my picture. And that was from an address. The first one was going through SharePoint, walking through the wizard. And the second one was if I had the direct address to where that image is located. And this third one is going to be from inserting a picture from my computer. And let's go to uploading. Let's add this picture right here. And click on save. And this is a gigantic picture. So this brings us to the next section, which is formatting images. So let's work with borders. We would click on the image, and then we would click on the type of border that we would want. So here's examples of the dark border, thin border, table border, light border. Image size. So the image that I uploaded from my computer was really, really big. So what I would want to do is I would want to highlight that image, and then I would be able to change the image size here. So let's walk through that. So I know that an image is highlighted because it turns blue. So let's highlight this one. Now let's change this to maybe 800. And so now it's a more reasonable size. So when I changed it, I want to make sure that the lock aspect ratio is actually clicked, or else it'll look really funny. So before it was at 2000, and if I would have not had the aspect ratio on when I made it 800, see how it like squishes it? So that's what we don't want to do. We'll make sure that it's locked so that when we click on 800, it changes both the horizontal and vertical size. And we can do that for any of them. So let's make these all 800. So now they're all the same size. Okay, so if we want to delete an image, we select that image and then we just hit delete from our keyboard. So if I want to get rid of this middle one, I just hit delete. Okay, so adding a link. There are two ways to add a link. You can highlight text and click on the link button, or you can just click on the link button and enter all your information. So let's walk through this. Let's add in a link below this picture. So we can type in some text. It says click here. Highlight it, and then we're going to insert a link, maybe from address, and click OK. So now if we click on that, it'll go to the picture that we grabbed. This is the last link that we copied. So that's where this link will go to. Alternatively, I could also just click on Insert, Link from Address, flower, sure. Click OK. And there we go. See, it says flower picture, and that one said click here. So that's how you add a link. Adding a table. To add a table, you're going to navigate to the Insert tab, and then you're going to click on the Table button and select the size of your table. So 1, 2, 3. To format a table, you can merge cells by highlighting cells and clicking the Merge button. And you might need text in cells to highlight the cells, or you can click in the table and then click the merge button and then tell it exactly which way you want it to merge. And the same process for if you want to split cells. So let's walk through that. Let's add a table. We're going to insert table. Now let's add a 3x5 table. So here we have a 3x5 table. See how I'm not really able to like highlight it? But if I put in some like just filler text, now I can highlight this. And let's say I want to merge. Let's merge these three. Merge cells. Let's merge these two. Merge cells. Or I could just click inside here and then tell it, let's merge with what's to the right. And see how it merged to the right. And for this one, I'm going to merge with what's above. And merge with what was above. And the same thing if you wanted to split the cells. So let's split horizontally. And let's split one more time. So now we have 3 again. We want to make this 3, I'm going to split horizontally. I want to make this one 2, so let's split vertically. And split horizontally. And now we have our 3x5 table back. To adjust the table width and or the height, you would control it from the table layout in the ribbon and table width and table height. You can also adjust the column or the row height in the same area. So here it is right here. Make sure you're clicked inside of your table and the table layout, and you have it right here, table width and table height, and then column width and column height. So inserting rows or columns, you would insert it by any one of these buttons here. So you need to click inside the table where you would want your new row or column to appear, and then click on the appropriate button. To delete a table, row, or column or cell, you just click inside the table and then select the delete button. Oops, and then once you select the delete button, you can select either from a cell, column, row, or table. Okay, moving on to the next label. So the next label is the expires one. The next label that we encounter is the one called expires, and it's seen right here in this image. So the date is the final date you would like your announcement to show on your front page. For example, if I make an announcement for New Year's Day, I would want my expires date to be 1/1/2017. So that means that the announcement will be visible for the first and then be hidden on the second. So if this is for, say I want this for, what's another holiday? How about Lincoln Day? So Lincoln's Day is February 13th. If I want to say celebrating Lincoln's Day today, then I would make this expire on the 13th. So that means it'll be visible on the 13th, and then it won't be visible anymore on the 14th. Okay, so the brief description, it has 92 character max that is visible on the front page. So whatever you put in here, if it is shorter than 92 characters, then it'll be visible. And that includes spaces. Okay, active label. This allows you to make your announcement visible when checked and not expired, and it'll make it invisible when it's unchecked. You can create announcements in advance so that they will be posted at a later time. So that's very useful if you have time to make an announcement, but you don't want it to be visible for people to see. Say you want to have that announcement for Lincoln's Day, but you don't want it visible until the 13th, and so you mark it as inactive. And then on the 13th, you can just make it active. So you can create announcements in advance so that they will be posted at a later date. You simply uncheck, mark the active label, which will make your announcement inactive. Okay, so the home page image. The big picture in the background right here is going to be your home page image. And that's a pretty big picture, so you want to make sure that it's in the right aspect ratio. So make sure you choose the announcements image rendition when you choose your image. This prevents your image from looking stretched out. This is very, very important. Otherwise, your image right here will look really funny. That's always a question that I get whenever new content authors come into their position. Always are baffled by why this picture it doesn't look right, it looks stretched out, or it looks funny. So just make sure that you always choose image rendition announcements whenever you post an announcement. Okay, banner. The banner label is a picture that is visible at the top of your Read More page. So right here, this is the banner. This flower is the banner picture. So you would click to insert from SharePoint, and then you would choose whatever banner you would want, what banner image that you would want. And once you're finished editing your announcement, you can save it by clicking on the Save button at the bottom right-hand corner. So everything we've learned so far can be used to add content to other parts of your front page, but sometimes certain functions are limited. So in the next video, we're going to walk through how we apply what we've learned to the rest of the front page. In the next videos, we're going to go through event calendar. Before we go to the next video, let's finish up on this one so you can see what it looks like. Brief description, just write. And we have to add an image for the home page because it has an asterisk. And see how this says 1366 by 650, which is much bigger than this aspect ratio. So let's select let's do the flower. And let's not do the full size, let's actually do announcements. Let's see how I change that in image rendition. And then for the banner, so you can see that it does change to a different size. I'm going to make that the banner size. And click OK. Actually, that doesn't look like the right size, but it is a different size. Okay, so select OK. Then we're going to go to the home page. You can see how it says title goes here, brief description, content. We click on read more. And here's our banner and title. And then all the stuff that we put into our body. And that's it.